What's going on, guys? So we're officially 15 weeks out from the first show of this year, which is going to be the Tampa Pro. I'm not sure if I mentioned that in the last video, but it's the Tampa Pro for the pros, and I'm still an amateur, so technically the Tampa Extravaganza for what I'll be competing in as an amateur. And here's where we're at this week. We haven't made much changes. Checked in with coach. My check-in day is Monday. So this video I'm recording actually a few days later. So we're technically a little bit under 15 weeks out right now. But I'm going to keep you guys as up-to-date as possible with these videos so you can follow me along my process. But you will be seeing a few things a few days later than what I get to actually live them in, if that makes sense. But anyways, guys, we are 15 weeks out for the title of the video, and it is going along pretty well so far. Started this prep about 197, about 198 pounds. I'm currently down to 189 pounds right now. So we're moving along just fine, losing about two, give or take 3 pounds per week sometimes. This last week we had a pretty big drop. We went from 192 to 189 on the dot. So no changes this week to the plan. I thought we were going to have some changes this week. I thought we were going to lower food. I thought we may increase some cardio. However, losing 3 pounds a week, we're in a pretty good spot, and we're really letting the body do a lot of the work so far with just food and minimal cardio right now. So here's where we're at. Cardio is 3 times per week, 30 minutes on the stationary bike. So just cranking the bike for 30 minutes 3 times a week, and that has been pretty low impact on everything so far. It's easy to get through. The good thing with that is as you get into prep, further into prep, the bike is nice because the treadmill, the Stairmaster can kind of beat up the legs, the ankles, and things like that. So we're just cruising on the bike right now, keeping the heart rate up, and I'm sweating pretty good on that thing. So trying to keep the heart rate between, anywhere between like 115 and 130. Like right between there is a really good sweet spot, and that's going to range. It's not like you're going to stay on one specific heart rate the whole time. But here is a tip for cardio machines. Like, say you're on the stairs at level 5 or something like that, and your heart rate's at 120, and then it goes up to 142. Like, don't start like cranking down the Stairmaster to like get it back to 120. Like, your body's going to adjust, and you'll get back to around between 120 and 140. If you're in there, you're at that average, you're fine. You don't need to like start scaling things down and scaling things up. Like, you're not doing anything for the body by doing that. So like whenever I put cardio in someone's program, I give them settings for what I want them to do. And I want them to just stay in a range. I don't need them at a specific heart rate, but I need them in this range, and I don't want you to adjust or lower, increase or decrease the intensity. I want you to hit the proper intensity and just cruise that the whole time. So you want to keep things consistent, and cardio is just one of those things that you just keep consistent as much as possible, as well as your food, your weigh-ins, your check-ins, like everything else you do consistent. So why would cardio start to become variables? It doesn't make sense to me. So that is that with cardio, and my little cardio rant also. Weights right now are 4 days a week. So only training with weights 4 days a week, which seems like, oh man, I need to do more. Like, not doing enough, man. I need to get in there and get intense and throw in some more volume, man. Like, we're cutting now. Like, we need to start cutting up the muscle. Like, that's another thing. It doesn't work like that either. Like, we want to preserve the muscle. That's the goal right now. If we can build some muscle, which there are some improvements and some things I'm kind of looking at with my own training to really be sure I'm making the maximum improvements. I'm going to throw up some footage of one of my chest days this week. And, I'm maintaining strength. I'm not necessarily progressing in strength right now. And at this time, I'm, getting leaner, and I really want to be sure that the muscle that I'm targeting is actually moving the weight, and I'm not, getting into other muscles. Like, for example, on a chest press, I'm not trying to let my shoulders start to take over my triceps. I want my chest to do the work. So I did actually take a step back on one of my exercises and, was quick to be sure that my actual chest was firing the weight, not, those secondary muscles. And I had a good chest day, man. A couple days later, I was pretty sore, and I had a really great pump. I'm still getting pretty good pumps right now, even with food being a bit lower. But just making the most out of the training. Like, this isn't powerlifting, and it's easy also to get caught up in wanting to just like progress. And during the off season, sometimes you can like progress like the weight on an exercise. But during a cut, it's like the best thing you can do is really to preserve the muscle. If you can still make improvements in terms of load. But I really want to sharpen my improvements and being sure I'm really, really connecting with that muscle and making the most out of it. And if, I have a rep range, say it's 8 to 10, and I'm like, well, I'm at 8, and I got 8, and I got 9, and I got 10, but I'm not done yet, and it's, a set that I can take to failure, then I'm going to go 10, 11, 12, or however many I need. And then that's going to give me feedback and tell me actually how strong I am. So if I got, say, chest, incline dumbbell press for 8 to 10 reps, and I go and hit 12, 13 reps, I probably should have used heavier weight if my form was standardized. So that's that. You're never going to have a perfect week in the gym, whether you're in the off season or whether you're in a cut. So standardizing the form is the way to measure progress, because if I have standardized form across week to week to week, I have a good week, I have a bad week, it doesn't mean that things have changed. I can actually measure that against, well, my form was standardized, this, and this happened. So I can expect consistent results each week. So onwards past training. Few things that happened this week, a few other things that I got into this week is I did do a posing seminar last Monday, and made some corrections to my pose to where I'm typically hitting my men's physique front shot a little bit more straight on, and they want me to shift actually a bit more. And when I actually look at the photos versus straight on versus slightly shifted to the side, I have a much wider physique and just an overall better shape, and it's just more aesthetic to look at. So I will be practicing that more, and as I get leaner, that pose is just going to sharpen and get better. So excited to see how that will look on stage in 15 weeks' time. I did also this week have a free meal. So I get one free meal a week right now, and I try to have a lot of carbs in that free meal. My coach wants me to have around 125 grams of carbs. So this week I actually went out for pancakes, which were gluten-free pancakes. I went and got some sweet potato fries as well, and then a little chicken salad thing to get some protein in. So the goal is moderate protein, high carbs, pretty low fats, ideally the lowest fats possible, because fats just aren't really helping out the muscles at this point. Fats are more for digestion and things like that, and other things. They're not very anabolic like what carbs would be, and they're just not as valuable in a cut. So I had gluten-free pancakes, and man, let me tell you, these were the best pancakes I think I've had. And not because I'm cutting right now. I would eat these during the off season, and they are good, man. They were rice flour, tapioca starch or whatever, and they were fluffy. They didn't fall apart, but they were easy to eat, man. I just destroyed those pancakes, used a little bit of syrup on them, just regular syrup, and went for a walk after to digest my food. And that was Friday night. I got up Saturday and went and did a workout at a really, really cool gym, actually, which is if you're in the Tampa area, Tampa, Sarasota, Bradenton area, on this west part of Florida here. It's a really cool gym down in Bradenton called Asgard Gym, and the whole thing is kind of like a Nordic Thor type of theme at this gym, but it's really sweet. They have stuff for strong men, big, whatever those heavy stones are. I'm not doing any strongman type of lifts, but they have everything at this gym. They've got powerlifting, they got a lot of old school machines for bodybuilding. And I went down there with Southern Muscle. We did some photos, some videos. I'm going to go ahead and play these throughout the video. But yeah, man, really great time. Guest pass was like $20. You know, it's a little bit out of the way if you're in Tampa, but it's worth the drive, you know, especially if you got nothing going on during the weekend and you want to go check out a cool gym, spend a few hours in there and really just have fun, man. Try out all the different pieces they have. And it was sweet, man. It was a real, like, kind of hole-in-the-wall type of place. Like, you might not know about this unless someone told you about this. So I'm telling you about this. Go check them out. Really awesome guys over there. What else? That's really about it, guys. My coach did send me a new diet, which we haven't started yet. However, what it is a little bit less calories on my rest days. So my coach is going to implement that as we need it. So right now we're just staying with the same diet, which my macros on this current diet are 232 grams of protein, 242 grams of carbs, and 51 grams of fat, totaling 2,398 calories, if I'm correct on my math. So that's where everything is at right now. And then we're going to throw in a low day diet within the next coming weeks. No changes as of right now to PEDs, no changes to training, no changes to cardio. So things are coming along pretty smooth, and you know, we've got 15 weeks, but the goal is to get ahead of it and to be around 8 weeks out, actually be able to bring food up a little bit and not be, you know, super starving or fatigued going into the show. So I'm really looking forward to this prep. I like how things are moving so far. And that's it, guys, for 15 weeks out. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you next week at 14 weeks out. Peace.